Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Res Indica IAS Academy. Desh Badla, Padhai Badlo. Today we will be talking about some of the very important schemes related to the animal rearing, and here we will be mostly will be confined to the bovine species, dairy sector, animal husbandry, and various other things. Okay, mostly in this topic we will be talking about the schemes which are related to the dairy sector, or the funds related to the dairy sector, or any type of infrastructure related schemes related to the dairy sector. So this will be totally confined to that lecture only. Okay, so once again I welcome each and every one of you in this session. Thank you so much for joining the session. Let's start with our session right away. So today we'll be talking about 7 things. So one is National Livestock Mission, then fodder development scheme is there, then we have a animal husbandry infrastructure development fund is there, then dairy entrepreneurship and development scheme is there, then dairy processing and infrastructure development fund is there. Then after that we have a national program for bovine breeding and dairy development is there. Then NDDB, National Dairy Development Program, a quality mark for milk and for breeding for milk and milk products will be there. Okay, so let's start with our first topic, that is called National Livestock Mission. Okay, so the National Livestock Mission was financially launched on 2014 and 15. Okay, the main focus is to make sure that quantitative and qualitative improvement in the livestock production system in our country throughout the places. Okay, so this scheme was implemented as a sub scheme of White Revolution. Okay, we have a White Revolution, correct? Rashtriya Pashudan Vikas Yojana since April 2019. Under that only we have a National Livestock Mission. Okay, so we know that there is a need for the sector National Livestock Scheme. So this National Livestock Scheme has been further revised and realigned from 2021 and 22. Okay, now what is the objective of this National Livestock Mission? Obviously, whenever we have any kind of mission or any kind of a scheme, the employment generation is one of the most important part, like how we can improve the entrepreneurship development in the ruminant, poultry, piggery sector and the fodder sector, and how we can improve the employment sector in those area. Then how we can increase the per animal productivity. Okay, like if any cow is producing around 10 liters of milk per day, how we can make it to 15 liters milk. So this is how the productivity, like how we can try to change the atmosphere and various other things around that, and how we can convert that animal productivity we can increase. Okay, then increase in the production of meat, egg, goat milk, wool, fodder and everything. Then after that, increasing in the availability of the fodder material and the feed for substantially, and reducing the demand through strengthening our own food and seed supply chain mechanism and everything. Okay, then also establishment of various fodder processing units, so that the whatever is the demand and whatever is the supply, we have to bridge the gap. Okay, then we have to promote risk management measure in the livestock, because there are a lot of diseases that are being affecting the livestock. Last year we have a lumpy disease that has came and which has affected the lot of species of the cattle. Okay, and then we have to focus on the research, and we have to prioritize the area of poultry, sheep, goat feed and fodder. Okay, after that we will be able to increase, and we will be we need to provide a better capacity building programs for state functionary livestock owners, and we have to strengthen the extension service, the sector which are providing a lot of support to this sector. Okay, and then promotion of the skill based training and dissemination of various other technologies, and also to reduce the cost of production and improving the production of the livestock sector. Okay, so this is what is the major thing is there. Like under the National Livestock Mission, we wanted to shield the farmer from the risk. Okay, like livestock insurance, your safety net in the farming, Then smart farming ahead, National Livestock Mission focus on research for better poultry, sheep, goat feed, fodder, okay, to strengthen the future of the farmer. Breed development of the livestock, feed and fodder development, innovation and extension services. Now, what is the mission design of the National Livestock Mission? Okay, so under the mission design, so there are further sub missions are there under the National Livestock Mission. One is the sub mission on breed development of the livestock poultry. Another one is sub mission on feed and fodder development. Then another one is sub mission on innovation and extension. So these are the three important submissions are there under the National Livestock Mission. So what is the submission on breed development and livestock poultry is that the main focus has to be given on the entrepreneurship development, so that they will be creating a new and innovative way for proper breed improvement in poultry, sheep, goat, piggery and various other sectors. Okay, incentivization to various individual FPOs, farmer produce organization, FCO, joint liability group, SSG, or any company which has been registered under the section 8 for entrepreneurship development. Okay, so this is the focus of the breed development. Then feed and fodder development. Okay, so we know that all the cattle, sheep and everybody needs a kind of a good quality of the fodder they need. So we need to strengthen the fodder, and we also need to improve the seed chain to improve the availability of the certified fodder crops. Okay, so this is what again is needed. Again, there is a need for proper improvement in the field of entrepreneurship, which will be encouraging the establishment of the fodder block, hay baling, silage making units and various other things. Okay, then we have a submission on innovation and extension, like how we can innovate. So we have a lot of research universities are there, agriculture universities, poultry and animal husbandry university, who are working on various type of courses are there, like institutes are there, universities are there, organization are there. They can do the research and development on sheep, goat, pig feed and various other things. They can also work on livestock insurance and innovation facility. Okay, so here under this mission they will be providing you with central assistance to be provided by the central agency like Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Okay, university to from the farm, from the lab to the land. Okay, applied research will be provided, conferences, demonstration activities, IEC activities, awareness generation program, all things will be provided under this National Livestock Mission submission schemes. Okay, now what are the activities that are going to be included over here? So the realignment of the National Livestock Mission has 10 activities and they are targeted towards entrepreneurship development, that is the first one, feed and fodder development, that is the second one, research and innovation, that is the third one, and the livestock insurance, that is the fourth one. Okay, so since February 2024 the National Livestock Mission is having some of the activities, like they are establishing of entrepreneurship for horse, donkey, mule, camel with 50% capital subsidy up to 50 lakhs will be provided to individual FPO, SGA, JLG and FCO and section 8 companies. Okay, so here the assistance and the support is being provided if any of the company, any of the self-help group, joint liability groups are working in these area. Okay, state government will be also providing assistance for breed conservation of donkey and horse, donkey and camel. Okay, so the central government will provide around 10 crore rupees for establishment of the semen station, okay, and a nucleus breeding farm for horse, donkey and camel. So this is how the things are going to be provided. Then there will be establishment of entrepreneur for fodder seed processing infrastructure, like processing, grading unit, fodder unit, go downs and various other things, where around 50% capital subsidies will be provided up to rupees 50 lakh for private company or any startup or self-help group, FPOs or joint liability groups, farmer cooperative societies, and everything. And section 8 of the companies, like construction of the building or shed, putting of a shed over there, drying platform, machinery, and all these things. So this is again being provided, this is again an activity which will be provided under the National Livestock Mission. Then for increasing the fodder cultivation area, the state government will be assisted for fodder cultivation in non-forest land. Okay, so here the fodder cultivation will be assisted in non-forest land, wasteland, or any non-arable land, non-forest wasteland, regained land, or non-arable land. Okay, here the fodder productions will be will be promoted. Okay, then the fourth one is the livestock insurance program has already been simplified. Okay, you know, during the time of any type of pandemic or anything when happens, so all of a sudden millions of livestock gets killed. Okay, so the whole the farmer who is doing the farming of these livestock has to suffer a huge losses. Okay, so the beneficiary share of the premium will be reduced, and it will be around 15% as against current the share of 20, 30, 40 or 50%. So now the remaining amount of the premium will be shared by the central state at a rate of 60:40, 60 central and 40 state. And in the other states which are like hilly areas, northeast areas, it is 90:10, and for the northeast and for the various type of union territory, it is totally different. Okay, so the number of animal to be insured has also been increased to 10 cattle. Earlier it was 5 cattle, now you can insure 10 cattle like unit instead of 5 cattle unit for cattle, sheep and goats. Okay, so this can facilitate the livestock farmer to get the valuable animal insured by paying a minimum amount, right? So now we are moving towards the next scheme, that is called fodder development scheme. Fodder is very, very important for the development of the livestock. Now, under the fodder development scheme, so this is again under the Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries. So this is a central sector scheme. Okay, 100% funding will be provided by the central government. Okay, Central Fodder Development Organization and a centrally sponsored fodder development schemes will be there to supplement the effort of the state government. Okay, so there is a central sector scheme, central fodder development organization, and a central sponsored fodder development scheme. So there is certain part which will be 100% funded by the central government, and there is certain part where a part of the things will be funded by the central government and the rest has to be funded by the state government. Okay, so there are a lot of components are there. Okay, so centrally sponsored fodder development scheme will be has been going on since 2005 and 6, and 4 components are there. First is establishment of fodder block making unit, that is the first one. Then grassland development including grass reserve, then fodder seed production and distribution, and biotechnology research. So these are the 4 important components of the fodder development scheme. Okay, so the central sponsored fodder development scheme was modified in 2010, which like this is a sponsored one to ensure proper efficient use of available fodder and feed wherever it is for every type of cattle. Okay, so so this has been done on the recommendation that has been given by the working group. Okay, so now the scheme is incorporating certain more components like strengthening of feed testing laboratories, introduction of shaft cutters, establishment of silage making units, demonstration of azolla cultivation and production unit, then establishment of bypass protein production unit, then establishment of area specific mineral mixture and feed pelting and feed manufacturing units. So these are all being also part of the fodder development scheme. Okay, and then also subsidies are also being provided, has been increased to 15% to increase the participation and the land requirement for assistance under the grassland development. Okay, so the grass reserve component has been revised to 5 to 10 hectare. Okay, like that. So what is the component, what is the pattern of funding, what is the unit cost, and what is the target is what all being given over here. So if you are establishing a fodder block making unit, so any public private entrepreneur including self-help groups can do. Here the pattern of assistance will be 50-50 and maximum unit cost is 85 lakh rupees. Okay, then they have a grassland development including grass reservoir there. So who are the beneficiary? Farmer, Department of Animal Husbandry, Forest. However, NGO, villages, panchayat would be involved in the development of the grassland. So here 100% pattern of assistance will be provided by the government. Okay, then fodder, seed procurement and distribution. Here farmer will be benefited. State government will involve SIA, dairy cooperative, NGO for implementation of the project, like around rupees 5,000 per quintal or up to total 37,000 quintal of fodder seed will be procured by the state government. 75:25 funding will be provided, assistance will be provided. Then after that, strengthening of the feed testing laboratory. So existing animal nutrition laboratories are there, veterinary colleges, agriculture universities. Okay, so here the fund will be admissible for if you are purchasing machinery, if you are purchasing the equipments which is required for feed analysis. Okay, so there are list of approved equipments are there which you can buy, where you will get assistance at the rate of 50:50, around 200 lakh rupees, that is up to 2 crore rupees. Okay, then introduction of hand driven a shaft cutter is there. So farmer, milk cooperative societies, Atma, then Krishi Vigyan Kendras are there. So 75:25 is the ratio. Then introduction of the power driven shaft cutter is there. So again the same people will be benefiting. Then again 75:25. Then silage making units are there. Again the same type of people, and 100% funding will be provided over there. Then demonstration of azolla cultivation and production. Here farmer, Mimbal, Mir Cooperative, Atma and KV Krishi Vigyan Kendra will be provided. 50:50 funding and assistance will be provided. Okay, so those people who don't know Atma, it is Agriculture Technology Management Agency. Okay, this is Agriculture Technology and Management Agency. Okay, then again we have establishment of bypass protein production. So dairy federation, private entrepreneur, subject to viability project. 25:75 assistance will be provided. Then establishment of area specific mineral mixture, feed pelting, feed manufacturing units. So public private enterprises, milk cooperatives, self-help groups, and everything will be these all are the beneficiaries who will be getting support under that. Is that 25:75 assistance will be provided. Okay, now we are moving towards the next type of fund, that is called Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund, AHIDF. Okay, so the main purpose is to incentivize investment by individual entrepreneur, private companies, MSME, farmer produce organization, Section 8 companies to establish a dairy processing or a value addition infrastructure. That is the first thing. Second is meat processing and value addition infrastructure, and animal feed processing. So these three. So we are targeting these type of organization and under three heads. One is dairy processing infrastructure, then meat processing infrastructure, and then animal feed infrastructure. So what is the objective? So first of all, the objective is to obviously to help increasing the milk and meat and processing units, and obviously diversifying the greater and providing more and more access to the unorganized milk and meat producer to get into the organized milk and meat market. Then to make them available, increase proper price realization. Okay, then to make available quality milk and meat products, and to fulfill the objective of protein enrichment quality food. Obviously from milk and meat we will be getting a lot of proper proteins for a growing population, right, in order to prevent malnutrition, undernutrition. Okay, we have a lot of malnutrition, undernutrition, children are there. So in order to prevent that, we can this is fund has been created. Then development of the entrepreneurship and also help in generation of the employment. Then to promote the export and increase the export in the contribution of milk and the meat sector, and to make sure that better animal feed, concentrated animal feed for cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, pig, poultry, for balanced ration and affordable prices being given. Okay, so who all are eligible under the animal husbandry infrastructure development fund? So farmer produce organization, private companies, individual entrepreneurship, section 8 company, micro, small and medium enterprises are all being, which we have already seen, these are all eligible to take the help of this fund for the development of the infrastructure, especially focusing on the dairy processing, meat processing and animal feed plant. Okay, so aim at incentivizing investment around $2 billion approved outlay. So this was in the World Economic Forum on January 20, 2023. So what are the activities covered? Obviously dairy sector activities, meat sector activities and animal feed sector activities are being covered over there. So under the dairy sector, okay, so there is a need to establish new units. What are the existing dairy units that need to be strengthened? Quality and hygiene milk processing facility, and then packaging facility and other factories. So this is all being part of the dairy sector. So if you need a fund, if any of the organization which are being listed over here, they need fund. Especially for all these activity. For product diversification, they can also avail the loan for new units, for strengthening of the new units, packaging like ice cream unit, cheese manufacturing, ultra high temperature milk processing unit, tetra packing, flavored milk manufacturing, milk powder, whey powdered, then any other milk product. So this is like product diversification. So here you can utilize this fund for your own expansion activities. Then meat sector. So establishment of the new meat processing unit, either new or existing meat facility like sheep, goat, poultry, pig, buffalo in the rural, semi-urban and urban areas. Then integrated meat processing plants and unit. Product diversification, like whatever is the product is there, you can diversify like milk product like sausage, nuggets, ham, salmi, bacon or any other. So these are all called as diversified food products. Okay, so you can facilitate, either you can make an integrated part or you can make a standalone part. Okay, based on that you can just get the funding from there. Then animal feeds. Okay, so there is a need for development of the animal feed manufacturing, strengthening of the existing plants, new plants. You can create mini, medium, large animal feed plants. Okay, mixed ration blocks you can create, protein units, mixture plants, enriched silage making units. So these are all feed testing laboratories and everything can be created with the help of this fund. Okay, animal husbandry infrastructure development fund. So what is the benefit that you are going to get with the help of this fund? So under the benefits part, if we go by there, so obviously the project, any project will be available, they will be getting loan up to 90% of the estimated or actual project cost, okay, from the scheduled bank, if they are a viable project and if you are really a eligible beneficiary. Okay, so any beneficiary in case like MSME, defined ceiling, though like 10% in case of medium enterprise. So there has been proper definition has been given, ceiling is being there, how much you have to provide and how much loan you can take. Then lending rates are also being rationalized. So the lending rate is to be fixed by the scheduled bank and it should not exceed 200 basis point plus external benchmark based lending rate. Okay, that means if there is any, like if this is a 6% is the extending benchmark lending rate, then you cannot exceed by 200 basis point. That means you cannot extra, you can do 2% but not 2.5 or 3%. Okay, 200 basis points means 2%. Okay, so this is what the ceiling has been set over there. So based on the external benchmark lending rate, you can just exceed up to 200 basis point, not more than that. Okay, for eligible entries whose project are falling in the defined ceiling. Okay, So, but the rate of interest has to be fixed by the scheduled bank. For other project could be based on the commercial interest rate. Then interest subvention. So interest subvention of 3% will be provided to all the eligible entries by the departments. However, interest subvention will not be allowed for the loan sanction for the procurement of land, working capital, old machinery, vehicle or so for loan sanction under these head, interest subvention will not be provided. Rest for that for other activities interest subvention will be provided, and eligible entities will not be able to get interest subvention if the eligible entity is defaulter or of repayment of the loan in any given year. That means if you have defaulted on your loan or any EMI term, then you will not be eligible for any type of interest subvention. So you have to be very, very strict in your loan repayment also. Then credit guarantee. Okay, credit guarantee will be provided for only those projects who are really viable and covered under MSME defined ceiling, and guarantee coverage will be up to 25% of the credit facility that has been available by the borrower. Okay, so the credit guarantee will not be provided to other beneficiary who are not covered under MSME ROM. Okay, so this is like that. Then maximum repayment period. So maximum repayment period shall not exceed 10 years from the date of the first disbursement of the inclusive of. So this is also inclusive of moratorium of 2 years on repayment of the principal. So these are the benefits that you are going to get if you are taking loan under Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. Okay, so this is Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. 45 breeds improvement technologies, breed multiplication farm project, around 679 crore sanction has been specially sanctioned for this whole purpose. Okay, now Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme, the next scheme. Now under the Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme, now here we are focusing on how we can improve the entrepreneurship activities in the dairy sector, like dairy, poultry. Okay, so in the it was started in 2004. Okay, so the scheme was started in 2004 with an outlay of 25 crore. Okay, now this scheme has been fragmented into two parts. One is Daily Venture Capitalist Fund, that is the first one, and Poultry Venture Capitalist Fund for the financial year 2008 and 9. Okay, during June 2010, the Dairy Venture Capitalist Scheme was revamped to Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme, and now they are making it more and more effective, more and more wider coverage, more and more component wise, more and more outlays being provided. And then in 2010, this scheme was modified to Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme. Okay, so what is the objective of the Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme? Focus is on self-employment, then infrastructure development, improvement and setting of the modern dairy farms for clean milk processing, encourage heifer calf rearing for conservation and development of the good breeding stocks, and also to bring structural changes in the unorganized sector. So see, we know that in India we have a dairy sector which is highly unorganized, so we wanted to bring them more and more organized so the proper initial processing of the milk can be take place at the village level only. Okay, so this is what very, very important. Then upgradation of the traditional technologies to handle milk on commercial scale, and also to provide value addition of the milk and production of the milk products. Okay, so entrepreneurship contribution for loan beyond 1.6 lakh, 10% of the minimum outlay has to be provided. Okay, then back end capital subsidy of 25% of the project cost for general category, and 33.33%, that is 1/3 to SC/ST farmer, and effective bank loans will be balance portion. So this is how the loan and everything will be provided. And who is going to be the implementation agency here? It will be NABARD, National Agriculture Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. It is going to be a nodal agency for implementation of this scheme. Commercial bank, cooperative banks, regional rural banks, urban banks, state cooperative agriculture credit societies, all institutions are eligible for refinance from the NABARD. That means you can take the refinancing from the NABARD, which implements this scheme. Okay, so this scheme will be open to organized as well as unorganized sector. So who are the target beneficiary under that? So the eligible beneficiaries are farmer, individual, entrepreneur, group of organized, unorganized sector, group of organized in like self-help groups, dairy cooperative society, milk union, milk federation, panchayati raj. Then application can be available to avail assistance to all components under the scheme, but only one for each component. Okay, so more than one member of a family can be assisted under the scheme. Okay, provided set up a separate unit. That means if two members are there from the same family, but they both can avail the loan under that, but they both have to set a separate unit. They both have to set a separate unit with separate infrastructure at different location, and the distance between the boundaries of such that should be 500 meter and not just nearby. Okay, so that it should not be like that the same family member are taking 2-3 times support from the government. Okay, and priority will be given if the things are being implemented in a cluster mode covering dairy, farmer, women, self-help group, cooperative and producer companies. Priority will be also given to SC/ST, women, landless, small and marginal, below poverty line families. Right, so this is dairy entrepreneurship development scheme is there. Who can apply, how you can apply, what is the pattern of assistance, financial institution eligible for that, everything we have discussed regarding this. Okay, now we are moving towards the next part. We have to tell about the dairy entrepreneurship development scheme. What is the type of component, what is the unit cost, and what is the pattern of assistance that is going to be provided. Okay, like if you are setting up a small dairy unit like crossbreed cow, indigenous mulch cow, sahiwal, red sindhi, ger, rathi, graded buffalo, up to 10 animals for self-help groups, cooperative society, producer, rupees 7 lakh for 10 animal unit. Minimum unit size is 2 animal with an upper limit of 10 animal. 25% of the project cost and 33.33% of the project cost for SC/ST farmer. Okay, like that. Okay, so now rearing of a heifer calf, crossbreed, indigenous descriptor milch breed cattle and graded buffalo, up to 20 calves are there. 9.7 lakh for 20 calf unit with an upper limit of 20 calf. Okay, 25% of the project cost and 33.33% for SC/ST. Right, then vermicompost with milch animal a unit to be considered with milch animal and dairy farms and not separate, rupees 25,200. 25 again the 25% project cost of 33.33 for SC/ST and farmer. Then purchase of milking machine, milking toaster, bulk milk cooling unit up to 5,000 liter capacity, 20 lakhs will be provided. Again the same pattern of assistance. Then purchase of dairy processing equipments for manufacturing indigenous milk product, 13.20 lakh of unit cost will be provided. Again the same level of pattern of assistance will be provided. Then establishment of dairy product transportation facility and cold chain, 26.50 lakh of assistance. Again the same level, same pattern of assistance. Cold storage facility for milk and milk product, 33 lakh assistance will be provided, 25% of the project cost, and again same level. Then private veterinary clinic, 2.6 level of mobile clinic and 2 lakh for the stationary clinic. Then dairy market outlets and dairy parlor you can create, 3 lakhs will be provided. Again the same pattern of assistance will be provided. So this is how the component pattern of assistance will be provided under the schemes. Okay, so you can see how a detailed way everything is being given over there. Now we are moving towards the next type of fund, that is called Dairy Processing and Infrastructure Development Fund. Okay, so this is again a different type of fund where dairy cooperative. So in order to make sure that our dairy cooperative remain competitive for sustained benefit to the farmer, so government has announced this Dairy Processing and Infrastructure Development Fund, and this will be working under the NABARD, where 8,000 crore rupees corpus will be provided for a period of 3 years from 2017-18 to 2019-20. That has been given in the budget. Okay, so funding will be given in the form of interest bearing loan that will be flowing from the NABARD to the National Dairy Development Board, NDDB. Okay, National Dairy Development Board or National Cooperative Development Corporation in turns to the eligible end borrowers. Okay, from NABARD to National Dairy Development Board or National Cooperative Development Board, again to the end borrower. Okay, so here the focus is on projects strengthening of the milk infrastructure and connect farmer to the consumer in a proper way. So what is the objective of the dairy processing infrastructure? Obviously, to modernize the milk processing plant machinery and create additional infrastructure. Obviously, to create additional milk processing capacity, increase the value addition production, to bring more and more efficiency in the dairy processing plants and producer owned and controlled dairy institution. I like that. Proper optimum value to the milk and the milk producers. Then to help the producer owned and controlled institution to increase their share of the milk, thereby producing greater opportunity of ownership. To help the producer owned and controlled institution to consolidate their position as a dominant player, like that. Okay, so this is the main objectives of the Dairy Processing and Infrastructure Development Fund. Now, scheme area. So this whole scheme will be implemented across whole country. Okay, it will not be specific to certain part, whole country. So the component of the schemes will be modernization and creation of new milk processing facility, new milk. Okay, so that more and more places the processing facility should be there. Then manufacturing facility and value added products, milk chilling infrastructure, electronic milk testing equipments, project management and learning. Any other activity related to dairy sector target to the contribute to the objective of Dairy Infrastructure and Development Fund. Okay, that has been decided by the government of India. Okay, so the end borrowers, who will be the end borrowers under this scheme, are milk unions, state dairy federation, multi-state milk cooperative, milk producer company and national dairy development board subsidiary. Okay, so any of these institutions who are meeting the criteria under the projects, they will be the end borrowers of this fund. Okay, so what will be the loan component under this? The loan component will be 80% of the maximum of the end borrower contribution will be 20%. Also, the end borrower who will be getting the loan, they will be getting at 6.5% per annum, in which 10 years loan period will be there, and with initial 2 years moratorium will be there. Okay, and the state government will be the guarantor of the loan, and the project sanction, if the end user is not able to contribute its share, state government will contribute the same under this whole process. Okay, so what is the benefit of this Dairy Processing and Infrastructure Development Fund? So what is the benefit of Dairy Processing and Infrastructure Development Fund? First of all, the scheme with whenever the investment will be coming, so it will be benefiting around 95 lakh farmer and 50,000 villages. That will be benefit. That is the numerical value that they have taken, and then there will be an additional milk processing capacity of 120 lakh liters per day will be developed with the help of this fund, and again a milk drying capacity of 210 million tons per day will be developed. Milk chilling capacity of 140 lakhs liter per day will be developed, and there will be installation of 28,000 bulk milk coolers will be also established with electronic milk adulteration testing. Okay, so you know each and every things whatever we have discussed here, like this part, okay, milk chilling center, electronic milk testing and everything, this is going to be the benefit of this whole schemes that we are going to get regarding that. Okay, then initially 39 MU and department will start producing a project with 38 milk making a milk union, 12 state and other milk cooperative will be also available for the net worth of the project level, and you can also apply for the loan under the DIDF. Okay, so this is what is going to be the separate things will be provided under that. So here employment, obviously whenever we are doing these activities, there will be also a lot of employment generation that will be also taking place. So employment generation is again a very important target over here. So you can see here, if these infrastructure units will be developed, obviously this will be leading to the generation of lot of employment. Okay, lot of employment generation will be happen with the help of these activities, right? So the implementation of the DIDF scheme will generate direct employment, those who will be working in those units, and indirect employment, those who are will be providing various type of materials to those areas, okay, for like skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled manpower, okay. So around direct employment of about 40,000 people will be created under this scheme, like expansion activities, modernization activities, then existing milk processing facilities and new processing plants, bulk milk coolers will be there. So under all these heads, bulk new employment facilities will be created, and then 2 lakh direct and indirect employment will be also generated, like if there is expansion of the milk and milk production units in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to tier 6 cities and towns are there. Additional indirect employment will be also generated, okay. So more and more staff will be there, more and more staff will be there in milk cooperative societies. They will be also appointing distributors, additional milk booths will be there, retail outlets will be created, okay. So again, more and more manpower will be needed for all these area, like milk procurement units will be there, then transportation, then again processing unit, then artificial insemination, veterinary services. All these will be requiring additional manpower. So obviously there will be a additional generation of employment will be there, okay. Now, so this is about the dairy processing infrastructure and development fund, okay. So around 40,000 direct and 2 lakh indirect employment opportunities will be benefiting 95 lakhs farmer in 50,000 villages area. There is an allocation of 10,881 crore rupees specially for that. They will be building more and more efficient milk procurement centers, creation of modernization, expansion and processing infrastructure, manufacturing faculties for value added products. So this all will be done under the Dairy Processing Infrastructure and Development Fund, okay. Now we are moving towards the next program, that is called National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development. Now under the National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development, okay. So here this program has been launched by merging 4 ongoing schemes of Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries, okay. So these are, first is National Project for Cattle and Buffalo Breeding, then the second one is Intensive Dairy Development Program, then strengthening of infrastructure for quality and clean milk production, and assistance to cooperatives. So this has been done especially like we wanted to integrate all the milk production and dairying activities in a totally scientific and holistic manner, okay, so that all these should work in a totally integrated way, so that we can attain a very higher level of milk production, productivity, and also whatever the demand that we are getting, and we are able to properly supply, okay. So under that we have National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development. It is having 3 components, okay. Under 3 components we have a National Program for Bovine Breeding, National Program for Dairy Development and Rashtriya Gokul Mission. So I have already covered this part in other video, okay. I have already covered this part in the other video, right? So now what is the whole objective behind the National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development? To arrange quality artificial insemination service at farmers' doorsteps only, okay. Farmer don't have to go from here and there at various other places, and they should get all the artificial insemination service at their own doorsteps, okay. And also to bring all breedable female under organized breeding through artificial insemination or any kind of natural services using various germplasm of high genetic merit, okay. Here so we are focusing on a proper breeding facility with high quality breed, okay. high quality breeding material, insemination, artificial insemination, and with high quality germplasm, like that. Okay, then also to conserve and develop and proliferate our own indigenous bovine breed, whatever is being produced in our country and which is very very indigenous to our own country, so that we can have a better socio-economic importance, and we are able, because our own breed are much more adaptable to our own climate system, right? So that is why we are focusing on developing our own breed, that is indigenous bovine breed. Okay, then to provide quality breeding inputs and breeding tracks for important indigenous breeds, so as to prevent the breed from deterioration and extinction. Okay, so indigenous breed has a focus area. Okay, so that whenever we are doing any kind of insemination, we have to make sure that they should not get deteriorate and they should not get extinct. Okay, so in order to preserve, in order to prevent them from any kind of deterioration, or in order to prevent them in any kind of extinction activity, we will be helping in providing with high quality breeding inputs. Okay, like that we are going to work on that. Now, national program for dairy development. So again, to create a infrastructure for production of the quality milk, like cold chain storages linking farmer to the consumer, to strengthen the infrastructure, processing of marketing of milk and milk products, to create training infrastructure for training of the dairy farmers, to strengthen of the dairy cooperative society producer companies at the village level, to increase the milk production, to like technical inputs like kettle feeds and mineral texture, to assist in rehabilitation and potential viable milk federation. So these are all activities that will be covered under national program for dairy development, right? Now under that, Rashtriya Gokul Mission was already there. We have already covered that. Okay, so under the Rashtriya Gokul Mission, the focus is on for breed improvement program, like indigenous cattle breed, proper genetic makeup for increase of the stock, and to enhance the milk production and productivity for indigenous bovine species, especially focus on to upgradation of the elite, our own indigenous class like Gir, Sahiwal, Rathi, Dioni, Tharpakar, Red Sindhi. These are our own indigenous breeds. We have to focus on development of the quality and also to prevent these from extinction. Okay, and also to distribute disease-free high genetic merit bulls. Okay, bulls for of indigenous breed for natural service. So this is very very important for this whole activity. Now then, what is the area of coverage under this? Okay, so this whole program will be implemented throughout the country. Okay, so national program for bovine breeding and dairy development will finance all the components in those states where national dairy plan phase 1 is not being implemented, like Delhi, Uttarakhand, Goa, Pondicherry, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Union Territory of Chhattisgarh, Daman, Diu, Lakshadweep, and Andaman Nicobar. Okay, and in case the states which are covered by the national dairy plan will cover those components that are not covered under the national dairy program. Okay, so this is how the area of the coverage that will be provided. Okay, so in some places where national dairy plan is not being covered, so here all the components will be covered, and where certain part of the national dairy plan has been covered, so which is not being covered in the national dairy plan will be covered over here. Okay, so who are the target beneficiary? Rural cattle, buffalo keepers, irrespective of the caste, class, and the gender. Funding pattern, like 100% grant in aid to all breeding related activities will be provided. Okay, now national program for dairy development will be totally 100% grant in aid basis for all component, except some things like if you are doing any kind of installation of bulk milk cooler, milk processing plant, so for that other funds will be there. Okay, we have already discussed like that. Okay, so milk powder plant, rehabilitation of milk union federation, so these are not being covered under this whole national plan for dairy development because they are already being covered in the previous activities. Okay, so for the first three component like bulk milk cooler, milk processing plant, and milk powder, the funding pattern will be as under, like in a national dairy plan, state 50% grant in aid, and for milk union federation in the northeast of the hilly states more than 1000 meter above the sea level in the hilly areas, okay, assistance would be 90%, and for other non national dairy plan for profit making EIAs will be accumulated of rupees 1 crore or more in the previous financial year, 70% granted aid will be provided, and for those who are loss making, for them 90% granted aid will be provided. Okay, and for the component of rehabilitation plan for assisting Milk Union Federation, 50% granted aid will be provided. Okay, so this is all the things will be provided in the National Program for Dairy Development. Okay, and what about the central assistance ceiling? So there is a central assistance ceiling is also being provided under this whole program. So that ceiling will be like central assistance for the project shall be restricted to rupees 15 crore per district. So first of all, there will be 15 crore has been ceiling that has been restricted per district under the National Program for Dairy Development. Okay, then for milk powder plant, the central grant per district will be limited to 5 crore per district, and if you are upgradation or you're upgrading the milk powder plant of 30 metric ton capacity or surplus milk for the milk shed or anything, central grant for establishing milk powder shall be limited to dairy cooperatives only. Any technical input service will be subjected to ceiling per of 15% per project. Assistance for cattle induction shall be allowed only for SC, ST and below poverty line families. Cattle induction shall be subjected to maximum ceiling of 10% of the total project cost. Okay, so the cost of this project of calculating subsidy shall include cost of the cattle, animal insurance and the transportation cost. Okay, so they have already given in detail everything, like how much they are going to, government is going to be providing the assistance. Then now the subsidy for cattle induction shall be restricted to 50% in all cases except for the woman farmer. So in case of the woman milk producer, the subsidy element of cattle induction shall have a maximum ceiling of 75%. Then rehabilitation assistance and the central grant will be restricted to 5 crore, and assistance for working capital shall be restricted to overall 21 days milk procurement, like that. Okay, so this is regarding the central assistance ceiling that is going to be provided. Okay, so we have a state level, state implementation agencies are there, then state livestock development boards are there, and implementation agencies are there, state livestock board are there, participating implementation agencies are there. So these are some of the important agencies which are working in the focus in this area. The National Program for Dairy Development, state implementing agencies are there, then end implementation agencies are these. Okay, if you can read it from here. Then we have a participating agencies are there like SIA, EIA, NGOs, SSG are there. Then we have a Rashtriya Gokul Mission is there, then a state implementation agency, and implementation agency and participating agency. Under the Rashtriya Gokul Mission, these are there. Under the National Program for Dairy Development, these agencies are working like that. Okay, now we are moving towards the last part, that is National Dairy Development Board quality mark for milk and milk product. Okay, you know, whenever we are producing any kind of product or anything, there is a need for better quality mark. Okay, quality mark has to be there. Okay, in order to make sure that this is a standard mark and everything is there. Okay, so quality mark is a quality and food safety initiative for National Dairy Development Board. Okay, so that the consumer confidence can be enhanced, right? So this is very, very important. So the guidelines for award of quality mark do not propose any new additional system for the food safety and quality mark, but only lays down processes required for ensuring quality. That means it is not like that you have to put some new or additional system for food safety. No, they said that you have to follow certain process which is required for quality and safety of the milk. If you are following that process, obviously you will be getting that quality mark tag you will be getting. Okay, so quality mark schemes aims to provide distinct identity to cooperative and allied dairy sector. Okay, so they will be helping in developing a quality culture. Okay, and this will also help in proper facilitating the consumer confidence. Okay, and improve the brand image and export worthiness. This is what exactly we needed. Okay, right? This is what we needed. Why we need a quality mark? The main reason of getting the quality mark is that we wanted to improve the consumer confidence. Consumer should be confident that yes, this is a good quality. Yes, this is the brand. Okay, like we have a Amul, we have a Mother Dairy. Okay, like that. They have a consumer confidence. They have a brand image, right? We have Nandini's there. Okay, like Amul, Mother Dairy, we have Nandini, Okay, South India. Okay, so these are having consumer confidence. We have improved brand images are there, and this will also provide export worthiness. Okay, so any logo or any symbol of quality marks on milk products on package, this conveys that this whole has adopted and implemented all the processes which is required as per the food safety and quality management for the milk and milk. That means if you are having a tag, okay, if you are having a tag on the bag or any packet which shows that this whole milk which is being filled inside this has followed all the processes which is required for food safety and quality. Okay, so what is the eligibility to apply for the award for quality marks? So the dairy unit organization from the following sector are eligible, okay, to use the quality marks, subject like they are fulfilling the requirement that is specified, like cooperative dairy organization can apply for that. Okay, so eligibility to apply for award. So subsidiaries of National Dairy Development Board, dairy unit, educational institution from government university, NDDB, state federation, union, government owned dairy units, any other unit is specified or approved by the National Dairy Development Board. So these are eligible to apply for award of quality mark. Okay, now what is the essential requirement which is needed to for you to get a proper quality mark? So what are the eligible essential requirements? So for essential requirement for any unit to eligible for submitting your application for award of quality mark are, first of all, the unit should have a valid license from FSSAI. FSSAI mean Food Safety Authority of India. Okay, and which is required under Food Safety Standard Act and regulator under there. Okay, then and that unit shall have a valid accreditation of quality and food safety measurements such as ISO 22000 or ISO 9001 with HACCP certification of IS 15000 from certifying body shortlisted by quality mark. So this all certification has to be there for any unit to apply for the award of quality mark. The water being used for operation of a unit shall comply with a relevant standard like use of water. Okay, so that has to follow standard Indian standard of 4251. Then valid clearance approval from the concerned state environment and pollution control board. And if in case the unit does not have all the above mentioned statutory clearance, the unit is not eligible to apply for award of a grant of the quality mark. Okay, you cannot if you are not having any one of them, you are not eligible to apply for a award of quality mark. Okay, so any dairy plant unit seeking quality marks are being eligible as per above shall submit the application to the National Dairy Development Board. Along with the supporting document and fees, they shall pay a lump sum fees of rupees 50,000 plus taxes as applicable for inspection toward all the charges and all type of inspection, pre-award inspection, surveillance, surprise audits and everything. Then after everything you will be awarded that license. Okay, so assessment of the unit procedure. Okay, how the assessment of the unit will be done? So there is again a two-step approach has to be followed in order to award a quality mark. First of all is preliminary assessment. Okay, under the preliminary assessment shall be conducted based on various document information that has been submitted along with the application, right? Then application unit shall be asked to submit additional information if they need it. Okay, that is the preliminary. So they will be like a paperwork and they will be verifying all the paperwork. Then what is the final assessment that they wanted to do? Only those units which qualify the preliminary assessment will be considered for the final assessment. Okay, in the final assessment, what will be done? On-site visit by a team, which they will be verifying all the facts that you have given the application. They will be checking adequacy. They will be whether you are following, ensuring all the food safety and quality of all the raw materials, whether you are manufacturing milk and milk product based on the proper standards. They will be also accessing your infrastructure, hygiene, sanitation and capabilities, whether you are continuously keep on manufacturing milk products which is safe and good quality. So there will be a team that will be comprised of 3 members. They will be undertaking on-site inspection of the unit, primary production site, supply chain, retail points, and everything will be assessed. Okay, just this is like a on-site inspection will be done. Okay, now use of logo of a quality marks, right? So dairy unit which meets all the criteria for award of quality marks, they will be allowed to use quality mark logo on their packages. Okay, whether milk packet or milk products. Okay, so the award of quality mark will be specific for that unit. That means location wise. That means if you have a location here in Anand, okay, and you have one unit in Gandhinagar. Okay, so if the inspection has been done of Anand, but you both have the same name, same unit, but you can only use the quality mark with the product which is coming from Anand only. The logo should be put on the product of the Anand, from which Anand manufacturing unit the things are coming. You cannot put on the Gandhinagar unit. Okay, even if it is being produced during the same. So you have to apply separately for this unit. Okay, so quality mark shall be specific to the unit as well as for the process for the particular product. Okay, so it is not like that you got the quality mark for that location wise, now you can put the quality on all the product. No, it is only for that particular product for which you have applied for that. You will be you can put that. Okay, it is like that if you are producing milk powder, you are producing cheese, you are producing paneer, but if you have applied for only milk, so you can put quality marks only on milk. If you got it, you cannot put the same quality mark on cheese or paneer. No, for that you have to apply separately. Okay, that fine, again the whole process will be verified, and then if it is fine, then it will be awarded. Okay, so the mark may be applied to a wrapping or a packaging or a printed or a label affixed to the package. So the approval number along with the specified logo, symbol, quality marks will be all printed on the paper on that whole logo and the packages. Okay, so the mark should be legible and indelible. All the character has to be easily decipherable and shall be clearly visible over there. And what is the validity of the quality marks and its renewable? So the award of quality marks is valid for 3 years, subject to maintenance and quality and food standards, and from time to time visit is also going to be take place. Okay, so the unit is responsible for initiating for the process of the renewal of the quality marks. Okay, if you wanted to do a continuous usage, so well in advance, like at least 6 months before the expiry, you should start this whole process for getting a new quality marks, or you have to renew your quality marks from time, so that all the required steps for assessment are completed and renewable is received before validity expire. Okay, so the procedure for seeking renewable shall be same as applicable, which has been given as a whole process. Okay, so this is all about the schemes that are related to the dairy, various funds related to the dairy. So we will be coming out with some more schemes in the next session. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye, take care and have a good day. Thank you.